well, you gotta understand the value of a dollar and try to do what, like, you know, all the old heads did. I could try that shit, but it don't work. You know how you appreciate money? By being broke. What up, everybody? It's your boy Johnny from In the Fields Podcast with my lovely fiance, soon-to-be wife, Lisa.
That's me.
And yeah, man, we are back with another episode, and you guys are tuned in to In the Fields, man. The good, the bad, the messy, everything in between. And this episode is going to be on adulting, man. And just, this isn't the shit that I signed up for. So...
Nope. Return to sender.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys all have experienced the struggles of adulting and just, I mean, shit, even that being its own term is just something that's been coined from people just dealing with, you know, the ups and downs of it, the struggle of, you know, wishing you were adult, and then when you become one being like, yeah, that was a really shitty wish.
Yeah.
You know, because nobody knows how to anticipate what it is you're going to get into. You know, even the people who seem to have it most figured out also deal with.
Yeah, because I think as kids, you have like an almost skewed view of what adulting is, because as parents, you try to make it look so easy that you got everything together to make your kids feel safe and secure. Mm-hmm. And a lot of the time, like, I don't feel like we really had, you know, certain talks as like kids for us of what to expect. All I was ever told was, you'll understand when you're older. You'll understand when you're older. But we never had, like, deep conversations of what to expect. Like, I feel like with our kids, like, especially Maya, who's now working, we discuss certain things with her about, like, you know, budgeting her money and, like, savings and, like, why it's important and, like, figuring out what you want to do early so you could kind of, like, make a plan for yourself, because, you know, you only have 4 more years until you get to that point.
Yeah, until you're an adult.
Yeah, so it's like, I don't feel like I really had those conversations as kids. Mm-hmm. So a lot of the time as a kid, for me, I would always be like, oh, I can't wait till I grow up. Yeah. I can't wait till I could just do what I want.
Well, too, it's because you see, like you said, your parents appear to have it figured out. You know what I mean? And I think every parent can relate to that, because you want to be, you know, like a strong foundation in your household. You want to be what seems to be like a strong and good support system, you know, for your family. So essentially, you don't ever really let the difficulties show too much. You do a lot of that behind closed doors, and you handle that with your significant other or by yourself behind closed doors. But the big one too is just like you said, we didn't have those conversations a lot as kids. Like, yeah, my parents spoke to me about, like, you know, what it means to become an adult and like the things you're gonna have to do. But a lot of the time, they made it seem like, yo, it's not easy. It's somebody, you know what I mean? Instead of, like, trying to educate me to prep me, it kind of felt more like telling me, like, the scares of adulting. Like, yeah, oh, yeah, you think being an adult is all fucking, all rainbows and unicorns, and you get to do whatever the fuck you want, but freedom ain't free. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was the type of conversations I was having versus, like you said, now we do have, like, conversations about money with our kids, and, you know, we're getting Jonathan to save money. We get our daughter, you know, we're helping her budget by, you know, just managing her paychecks and, like, showing her, like, yo, bro, like, look how much money you got saved in your account now because of this structure, and, like, you know, helping her budget and things like that. And I think that should just be more common, too. Like, you can't expect your kids to thrive if we treat money as, like, something we shouldn't be talking about. We should be having conversations about money. It's not taboo to talk about money. Granted, you shouldn't be asking about other people's money. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just, like, common courtesy. It's none of your business. But, like, teaching the dynamics of, you know, financial literacy, that should be something that should be normal. You know what I mean? And, you know, just trying to save that bread and do something with it. Make your money work for you.
Well, that's like her wanting to save up to buy herself a new bed frame. Mm-hmm. She didn't even come to us to ask for one.
She's showed me that right away. She said, I'm going to buy this. And I was like, bet. Like, look at you making, like, a short-term goal for yourself. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Or even, like, her hamster that she wanted. I was like, I'll buy everything up front, but if that's something you want, this is going to be your responsibility. You're going to have to make sure you budget your money and make sure you could get what you need for it so it doesn't die. Yep. And she was like, I could do that. Like, I will. Like, fine. And she's been doing perfectly fine with it. And she's been trying to make it work. And, like, look at her packing lunches now and trying to be more smart of, like, not buying food every day when she goes to work. Like, she's starting to,
she suffered the consequences, like, because it's not like like when my kids ask me for shit, like of course like I try to come through for them, but like, you know, my daughter for example, like she's a teenager, so she works, so she has a job, and it's like part of me allows her to feel the struggle of being broke.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, bro, like if you ain't got it, you ain't got it. That's just what it is. Like, you have to understand that you have to be broke to appreciate money. You know what I mean? So you can't appreciate a dollar. Like as much as I could tell you and sit here and be like, well, you gotta understand the value of a dollar and try to do what like, you know, all the old heads did. I could try that shit, but it don't work. You know how you appreciate money? By being broke and wanting shit. Oh my God! Newsflash. That's the best way to teach them. You want to fucking understand the value of a dollar, bro? Wait till you broke and you really want some shit.
Yeah.
Or wait till you're broke and you can't do shit with your friends. That's when you're like, shit, bro.
Or just like even learning how to budget the money that you do have to spend. Like you could want all these snacks all you want, but you know in the back of your mind, like I got this to pay for, this I want, which is more important than the snacks. Right. Like I'll just eat whatever's at home, so this way I could still have the money that I need for X, Y, and Z.
Yeah, and that desire for shit, like when you want things, it, like you said, it triggers that ability within yourself to start prioritizing. Mm-hmm. Like now she is like, you know what, instead of dropping a bag at Wawa or, you know, dropping a bag at lunch while I'm at work, I'm gonna save my money so I could buy my bed frame. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, it definitely yeah, being broke, that's the way to learn the value of a dollar, man. So
yeah, and we'll definitely get into that later.
But that's the adulting for sure. Yeah. But before we continue, man, I want to start today's episode with a weekly check-in, you know? Just wanna you know, make sure everything's good. If you guys have been tuned in, you guys already know what the weekly check-in is about, but for any of the new people that are tuned in, me and my soon-to-be wife, you know, we don't really get a lot of time to sit down and just see how everything is, you know, try to get a full view of, you know, everything that's going on and, you know, really just work together to, you know, just understand each other as much as we can, you know.
We be locked in.
With life, as life continues, you know what I mean? There's just things that happen, silent battles that we take on and just, you know, invisible weight, I guess you could call it, that, you know, sometimes we don't necessarily see, but we just, you know, we carry it.
Yeah.
And so, yeah. So that's what the weekly check-in is, guys. So, babe, how are you doing? What's up? Talk to me.
I mean, things have been okay. You know, work has been a little bit more draining than usual this past, like, week or so. Definitely a little bit more hectic now that Maya's out of school and she's picked up more shifts at work. So now it's, like, managing, like, multiple schedules at a time. And now summer, kids are out of school, but yet we still got to work. So things have been just a little chaotic. But, I mean, I feel like overall we've been managing it very well with communication and, like, delegating tasks and working as a team to make sure everything gets situated. Like, you've been helping out more with, like, dinners and stuff so I could stay on top of other stuff. So, I mean, it's been working. I know we've definitely run into a few technical things with the podcast and the computer, and you know, it's still a learning curve, and we're still trying to figure it out and just make do with what we got as we're still learning and, like, trying to build at this. But I feel like overall, like, things have been okay. Like, I'm not going to sit here and the little stressors make them be bigger than what they are because they were temporary. We moved past it. I got over it. Like, we're still going. So it's like, life is lifing. Life is always going to life. It's just how you navigate it. So I feel like overall, I'm just getting to a point where I'm just locking in and focusing on what's more important. So it's causing me to not stress out as much, which I feel like is definitely a big key factor for me over the last couple of weeks. It's just holding strong despite, you know, what kind of emotions I might have been feeling. How about you?
Yeah, man. Like you said, everything's been okay. Like, yeah, there's shit that life comes with the ups and downs, you know? That's like the yin and the yang, the good and the bad. Lately, everything's been pretty much okay, though. Like you said, just kind of allocating my focus towards what I can control and not really focused on the things that I can't control.
Yeah.
That's been making life a lot easier to navigate. Just trying to lock in on creating goals for myself and seeing, you know, where I want to be, the things that I want to do, and just, you know, trying to navigate just life more smoothly, but at a pace that I'm comfortable with. You know what I mean? Not so worried about everybody else around me who might be doing X, Y, Z. You know, I always say that thief is the comparison of joy. So trying to just focus on me, you know what I mean? Me, us, our family, and trying to do everything, you know, I can to get to where I see not only myself, but ourselves being, whether that may be, you know, us getting married in a couple months and shit like that, or, you know, improving the podcast and expanding the set and, you know, being able to accommodate 4 speakers and, you know, these are all the things that are on my mind. Getting that new laptop so that this way, you know, the editing process becomes much easier for me. Expanding the team, you know what I mean? Like we take on a lot of work, you know what I mean? We have a shooter, we've got hosts, you know what I mean? It'd be nice to have an editor who can just do that portion of it, and maybe a clipper, somebody who can do that, because that's a lot of work for us, you know what I mean? But that'll allow us to then expand and delegate to like marketing and shit like that. So, you know, but these are all the things that I think about. But overall, I've been good. You know, I've been at peace regardless. You know what I mean? Like whether I'm happy, like within the interim of life, I'm gonna feel happiness, sadness, anger, frustration. I'm gonna feel all the feelings. Like that's unavoidable. You know, but I'm at peace with that. You know what I mean? With knowing that where I'm at, I'm not worse off. Yeah. I'm in a way better place than I was. Where I am today is where I prayed to be years ago. So, you know, I can't complain. But yeah, overall I'm good, man. You know, us, we locked in, you know what I mean? Like shit, like I don't want to sound like, I don't want it to sound bad, but like our relationship has like almost been the least of my concerns lately because of just how autonomous it is lately. You know what I mean? Things have just been we flowing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're good. So
I love that. We do have like a lot of exciting stuff coming up in the next couple of months. So I feel like that definitely plays a part. And I think it's also going to alleviate
a lot of weight too. You know what I mean? That's been putting a lot of pressure, you know, and anybody that's been married that watches this, you guys know that like
the process
is fucking a headache, bro. And I understand why they create terms like bridezillas and fucking shit like that, bro. So, yeah, I just, you know, I get it. I get why it is so fucking stressful for people. Yeah. And
but like even me, for example, I'm such a simple person that like for me, I haven't really been thinking about it because I'm like, I don't.
Well, I also think too it's hard because again, you know, it's like like
your sister sends me all this stuff to think about, and I'm like, I didn't even think
that didn't even cross my mind.
Yeah, like I just want to show up and then make it happen.
You told me at one point that like it was hard for you to feel like having all the thoughts for it because you never envisioned that, you know what I'm saying? Like, so
I never had like a dream wedding,
and regardless
or
of
like
whether
that.
you envisioned it or not, like I still think my fiance deserves a wedding, you know what I'm saying? So I love you, man. So yeah, man, I'm glad you're doing good though. I'm glad you're okay. And yeah, man, you're doing good. But yeah, before we continue with the episode, guys, let's give you a word from our sponsors. Have you guys ever been looking for a drink that makes you feel so good? It just makes you want to fucking party, dude. Honestly, this is the best thing. I don't know how else to describe it. It's just like every time I drink it, it's just like a bottle full of happiness. Oulalaid, guys, the best lemonade, not only in the 610, not only in the Lehigh Valley, but in the entire world. Shout out to my guy, La Shells. He just met with the health board because as the brand grows, the requirements and the stipulations needed grow as well. So now we have nutrient facts on the back of every bottle, including the calories, serving sizes, all that thing. So yeah, man, it's just so dope to see another brand improving, and striving to be better. Because that's something that we do here as well on In the Feels podcast. That's the promise that we've made to all the feelers that are tuned in. The more you guys support us, the more we are able to expand and grow. And it's just so dope that we have a sponsor that's doing the same thing,
Yeah, I love that. And if you're here in the Lehigh Valley, like he is almost at every event you could think of in the Allentown area, pulled up with cases and cases and cases.
I mean, even out to Reading now. He's already expanded all the way to Reading. So yeah, man.
Shout out to him.
Shout out to Oulalaid, the best lemonade, not only in the Lehigh Valley, not only in the 610, not only in Pennsylvania, not only in the United States, not only on planet Earth.
Oh my God.
Not only within this galaxy, not only within this quadrant or universe for that matter,
you are so
but
extra.
across every universe that exists, the best lemonade. Make sure you guys go and get yours, man. Hit them up at Ula Lade or at Ula_Lade on Instagram. Tell them that In the Fields podcast sent you. And yeah, man, back to the episode.
Woo!
All right, guys, and we are back to another episode of In the Fields podcast with your hosts, Johnny and Lisa. And yeah, man, we are here exploring the good, the bad, the messy, and everything in between. And on this episode, we're talking about adulting. I wanted to get into something, a little segment that I'd like to call Film of the Feels, which is just something that I think we can start doing where, you know, new movies come out, and sometimes I feel like they correlate to a lot of the stuff that we talk about.
Yeah.
So it'd be dope to, like,
Throw it in there every once in a while.
not only just throw it in there, but like tell the fans too, like tell all the feelers that are tuned in, like you guys love the content we share, and you know any recommendations that we make, you know we want to make sure that we share it with y'all. So
yeah, and feel free to recommend stuff too that we will definitely check out, and then you know go over our perspective on it, and we love stuff like that.
Hell yeah, man. So for Film of the Feels, I gotta give a big shout out to Netflix because they did their big one on this one with
Tyler Perry.
Yep, Tyler Perry, Taraji P. Henson, I believe that's her name. She was the main actress in the movie. It was called Straw.
Yeah, she killed that role.
Bro,
She really did.
this movie,
Because that plot twist, I was not expecting that at
bro,
all.
not even just the plot twist. Every 5 minutes, like something was happening to her,
Pure
man.
chaos.
Like she could not catch a break,
Yo,
bro.
but real life, like I've definitely had days where I'm like everything is just going wrong, and it's like, what the fuck is happening? Like, can I just hit reset on this whole day? Like, can I just go back to bed and try again? Because why? Why is this happening? So I definitely felt for her, just like, but on like the standpoint of being a mom too, of like, you know, something bad happening, and it's like life doesn't stop. Like you just have to keep going because you still got the bills to pay, you still got to show up at work, you still got to. A lot of the time, jobs aren't very understanding of your personal life situations, and I think that's what sucks the most because she needed that time to grieve. She needed that time to like. And she was just not able to do that.
Or like when she got the call from the school to go pick up her daughter and the boss wasn't trying to let her dip. And then by the time she got back to the crib, all her shit was thrown out because the landlord couldn't wait for her check to get mailed. Like,
yeah, and the
bro,
worst,
her life was just boom, 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 boom. Like it was just domino effect,
yeah,
bro.
but the worst part about it though is when that plot twist hit where they replay all that back to see that the school really didn't call her. Like she was just so out of it because she had just lost her daughter.
Yeah.
Like, and she didn't even have the time to process this because she lost her daughter, and the next day she still had to wake up and go right to work.
Yeah.
She still had to take care of her responsibilities, and in her head, she still didn't even process the fact that her daughter wasn't even there. Yeah. She still went to school to drop her kid off, not realizing that she wasn't dropping anybody off. Like, because you could even see the way that the teacher was standing there looking at her like, hi, like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, and it's just so sad. It's so sad and heartbreaking to see people spiral because it really does happen in real life. Like, it is the last straw that breaks the camel's back sometimes, and it's so sad.
Yeah, and sometimes you just be so out of it. Like when you're adulting, that shit can be very heavy. Like sometimes it's a lot of silent weight that you're carrying and a lot of silent battles that you're fighting because again, you're in a position, especially as a parent too, you're in a position where you have to appear to have your shit together because you just have people depending on you, you know? But even if you're not a parent, you know, your future self is depending on you.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's one person that no matter what, whether you're a parent or not, when you become an adult, like, that's the person you owe it to the most. So it's just hard, man. It's hard. And it can be overwhelming when you're looking at a lot of shit.
But I think it's too, like, it's a reminder to everybody to just be more understanding and kind to people because you never really know what somebody is going through.
Yeah.
Like the fact that her job had fired her and he had her physical check right there.
Right there. Yo, bro, that
you
pissed
could have
me
just
off.
given her check and instead you're like, nope, I'm going to mail it to you. Like, bro.
That's company policy.
The fact that she went to the bank and they knew her face, they've seen her numerous times,
Yup.
but they're like, nope, I can't do it without ID. And she's like pleading her case, like, please, like, I really need to pay my rent. Like, I need this right now. Like, just please, you know who I am. And she's like, yeah, nope,
Because
can't
her car
do it.
got like stolen or something like that. I think they took her car or something like that. The people who robbed the place.
No,
Or
the
no,
cop
the
that
cop.
hit her car,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then he gave her a ticket and everything, and then impounded her car.
Yup. And then she took the robbers' cars, or she took the robbers' car
She
to the
did
bank.
some
That was
shit.
nuts, bro. That movie
it was a
crazy,
lot.
and she killed it. Shout out to Taraji. Yo, you killed that.
She's a great actress.
Yeah, bro. That movie had me in my feels, bro. I ain't gonna hold you.
I was
I'm not
super
even trying to
sad.
make a joke right now. Like I told my mom to watch that movie. My mom texted me and was like, my mom was like, I'm fucking crying. What the fuck? And I was like, bro, I told you this movie. And it's probably got a hit too for moms that, that did everything for their kids. Like my mom's definitely one of those that like I've watched struggle, bro.
Yeah.
I've watched my mom write checks for groceries that she knew were gonna bounce.
Yeah, I definitely
Just
feel.
so we could have the groceries.
Yeah, I definitely feel like I definitely have more of a deeper appreciation for like the struggles that my mom endured just to make sure I was good. I still had a roof. I still had the lights, the water, the food, the clothes.
Yep.
Like, and it might not have always been easy, and it still isn't for her.
But they made it happen.
But she somehow still always made it happen.
While not losing your fucking mind in front of me nonetheless. Because my mom was like, composed for the most part. But I'm sure my mom, like I know, like my mom used to smoke cigarettes. And I know there's days that my mom was probably like, because she used to smoke cigarettes like, so imagine like a kitchen and then the kitchen sink, but there's like a window right behind the kitchen sink with like those little tiny curtains.
Yeah.
So my mom used to smoke in the house like that, like back in the 90s when smoking cigarettes in the house was like totally acceptable.
smoke
And nobody gave a
everywhere.
fuck. Yeah, everywhere. You could smoke on airplanes and shit. Like it was just, nobody gave a fuck. So, but my mom, I know there's days that my mom was definitely just leaned over that sink, bro, just staring out that window, just like, fuck. Like, and bro, that's the struggles of adulting, bro. Like you just, again, there's just a lot of shit that you don't anticipate. Like when you're a kid making the wish to be an adult because you see them quote unquote have it together and you're like, dude, you got a nice fucking car, you got your own fucking house, bro. You fucking living your life, dude. You just came back from fucking another state or another country. Like, I want to do that. You don't even realize as a kid how fucking hard a lot of that shit is to even arrange or to make happen. You know what I'm saying?
I think the biggest thing as a kid though is you have rules.
Yeah.
And kids don't like having rules.
Yeah.
Because they see us doing what we want and we come and go as we please. And they're just like, well, why can't I do that? Why do
Freedom
I have
ain't free,
to have
dog.
these
What do you want me to
rules?
tell you?
Right. And they don't understand that it's
Freedom
to
is the most
teach
expensive thing I ever
them-
paid for.
It's to teach them how to navigate life. Like, yeah, we, for the most part, can do what we want, but we still have to follow rules. Not made up by our parents or whatever, but we have to follow the life rules, like rules of life to navigate and get through and make it to the next day.
Yeah.
So like either way, you're still going to have some type of rule or stipulation in place that you're going to have to follow in order to keep yourself at a good place.
Well, yeah, to keep
in
your
life.
head above the water, man. That's, there has to be some sort of calm within the chaos. Like, you can't,
Yeah.
trust me, I'm sure everybody wishes they could live rule free, but then again, like, how well would that benefit us as a society if
Yeah.
there was no
And
rules?
that's the illusion versus the reality.
We've already seen the fucking purge, man. We know what the fuck happens when there's no rules, okay? Let's
Pure madness.
They've already made like 5 fucking movies about what would happen if there was no rules. So, but yeah, that movie The Straw was shout out to that, man. That was crazy. That was good. That just was a good display of like
It hurt my
how
heart.
bad. Oh my god, I felt so bad for her. I
It
felt
was
so
pure,
bad for her.
just raw emotion of
Yeah.
like she nailed that.
So many
role.
feels.
Yeah.
So many feels. So many feels. So yeah, guys, definitely go check it out. Netflix,
Yeah.
The Straw.
You won't be disappointed.
Yeah, it was amazing. And we'll keep doing this, guys. Well, every time we see something dope, whether it's could be a movie, could be a show, could be an anime, shit, we could talk about Love Island one of these episodes. I know that's really one of, that's one of your big things.
I'd be stuck.
Yeah, and I'd be catching it because, I'm just a good hubby and I let her watch her garbage TV and act like I don't be tuned in low-key.
It's super cringe, but I'm obsessed with it.
Yeah. I know you guys probably heard that beep. I got to change the battery in the smoke detector, but whatever. Who cares? You know, that's it, guys. That's the struggle. That's what you guys get to see us. You guys get to see us grow until we get to a point where the batteries are always changed. There's no clicking in the audio. You know, we're going to get there. And we're just happy for all the feelers that are tuned in and growing with us. We're almost at 100 subscribers on the YouTube.
Ooh.
Almost there, man. We're going to get there. But yeah, man, adulting, dude. It's great. It has its perks, you know. It's ups and downs. It's definitely something that, you know, we're all going to experience. And, you know, I think the most important thing is to understand that you're going to experience it at your own pace. It's not something you can rush. You know, don't compare yourself to other people. Some people,
that's huge.
Some people are, you know, some people might have it figured out sooner. Some people might have it figured out later. You know, and just ensuring that there's some sort of goal that you're looking to accomplish. Like, what is it that you're trying to do? You know what I mean? What do you want to do in life? Where do you see yourself?
Yeah.
You know, you owe it to that version of yourself to make the hard decisions today so that the life later becomes easy, you know?
Yeah. And I mean, those are, like I said, those are the kind of conversations I have with Maya now, just to get her wheels turning, just to get her to start thinking about, like, you know, what am I going to do after senior year? Because that's right around the corner. You're going into 10th grade. Like, it goes quick. Like, I feel like we just started the first day of 9th grade and you're already done.
Yep.
And it's like, you really have to start making the initiative to start planning what you see out of your life and what you want from it. Because, like I said, those aren't conversations that I had. And I feel like a lot of the time, you know, they say your childhood plays a huge role of, like, the kind of person you end up being. So I feel like, you know, our generation, like, I don't feel like our parents had the tools necessarily to better equipped us for, like, what we were walking into. Like, they were supportive, they were here, but I don't feel like we had those deep conversations to prepare us, essentially. And we kind of have just been figuring it out along the way. Yeah. Whereas, like, I just don't want that for our kids. Like, I want you to start thinking about it a little sooner. Like, you don't have to do anything necessarily right now, but just start thinking. Like, really navigate.
Well, we're just giving them the reality. That's what it is. Like, again, when you're young and you're a kid, like, the illusion of adulthood is, oh my God,
sunshine
you
and
guys
rainbows.
get to do whatever you want, whenever you want. You can buy whatever you want. And I'm like,
that comes with hard work.
bro, do you know how fucking hard I work? First of all, I can't buy whatever I want. Let's start there. I buy whatever I can. Let's be real.
Facts.
The illusion, y'all, that's the illusion. Y'all think I can buy whatever the fuck I want. Nah, I buy whatever I can. Mm-hmm. Some of it is what I need. Most of it, of course, all of it is what I need. And then when I take care of whatever I need, there's just might be a little bit left for what I want.
Mm-hmm.
But again,
then it's like, you got to determine, do I spend this little bit
do I
on
invest
what
that?
I
Do
want?
I save it? Do I do something better with it? You know what I mean? Because again, that's the fucking reality, is that you're faced with decisions of adulting, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're like, dude, do I save this money? Do I invest this money? Do I put this in life insurance? Do I go open a Roth IRA? And then, you know, now it's like on TikTok, like, financial literacy and mental health is, like, super fucking pushed. So it's
Which
like,
I love that.
yeah, I love it because of the fact that now I feel like that sort of knowledge is a little bit easier to get. Like, the fact that financial literacy is being pushed, and I'm like, yo, that's the shit we should be doing. You know what I mean? So, yeah, like, those are conversations I've been having with my mom. OD, I'm like, yo, life insurance, Roth IRAs, we need to make moves. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, adulting is like trying to explain to kids the difference of, you know, the illusion versus the reality. Like, that's what we're trying to do with our daughter is, you know, it might appear that we get to do whatever the fuck we want, but that's not really the case, dude. Like, you know, those vacations y'all see us go on, or the ones that we take y'all on, like, bro, those are something that we prep for
months
in advance.
at a
In
time.
advance, by, again, making these sacrifices to ensure that we're able to do that for y'all. Like, we want to give y'all that experience, you know? And the cost of that, a lot of the time, is us missing out on fucking fun with our friends, or not going on as many vacations or as many trips, or, you know,
not
doing extravagant shit for people. Like, sometimes the gifts are simple for birthdays, like, you know? So it's just a lot of sacrifices that come into doing the things that we do for our kids, and that's just part of adulting, man. It's just part of the fucking ups and downs. And I think too, as when you become an adult, like the one big thing about adulting is just like looking for, you know, the small wins in everyday life. You know what I mean? Like getting the fucking laundry done. Like
I get so
bro,
excited when I get a whole whatever is downstairs done within a weekend.
The only way I could explain it to y'all, to anybody that's like not an adult who's like looking like it, like for everybody that's like my daughter's age, like as an adult, getting the laundry done, bro, that's W's in the chat. W's in the chat. W's in the chat.
Stop.
That's exactly what that would be our version of that. The small win for us getting the laundry done, that's W's in the chat. W's in the chat. Yo, chat, drop W's right now. That's exactly how it would feel. Like, that's the only way y'all would understand it. Because most of y'all, your parents are doing your laundry for you anyway. So, like, you know what I mean? Like, but that's the small wins. Those wins, like, they feel so much more, they feel bigger now. You know what I mean? They feel so big now.
Yeah, because I
little
think,
shit like that.
I think for me, what it is like, real adult life is most of the time you're working Monday through Friday. You're getting off of work, you're coming home, you're doing a little pickup around the house, you're cooking dinner and getting the kids situated. And then by the time they get to bed, it's already like 8, 9 o'clock. You're not going to want to do much else but finally like relax yourself and settle down because you know you have to get up and go to work the next day. We only get 2 days off. We just get 2 simple days.
Here's a day off. We're on one of our day offs. Working,
right.
You know, we work 9 to 5, and then here's us working on our 5 to 9.
So it's like on the weekends, you got to navigate and pick between like, do I just be a bum all weekend because I'm so burnt out and I deserve to just sleep and stay in bed and do nothing?
Kids
or
don't let you do
I
That's a fantasy.
do my responsibilities? I get up and I deep clean and I get the laundry done. Do I make time for my friends? And like, you have to navigate all these things. And like, sometimes you have to pick, you know, what you don't want to do over what you do. Like, no, I can't go hang out with my friends or make plans today because I know this deep cleaning has to get done. And it's like things like that people don't really take into consideration of like, you know, what kind of stressors come along with this job that we didn't sign up for.
Like, definitely didn't. I mean, I've told my mom so many times, hey, Mom, remember when you told me I brought you into this world and I can take you out? I've already went to my mom. Now that I'm fucking an adult, I'm like, yo, remember when you said that to me? Could you do that taking me out shit? Because I'm done. I'm fucking over this. I'm over this fucking adult. Is this a subscription that I can cancel? Because I would rather go back to your crib where your dinners are already, I don't have to plan a dinner again. Please, Lord, even that part of adulting is fucking annoying.
Yeah, speaking of that,
I loved when my mom would figure it the fuck out.
Yes.
Never having to plan a meal? Oh my God, bro, that sounds heavenly to me.
It's the worst. So
only the wealthy who can pay for chefs. Those are the only other people who could fucking experience that. Because, bro, let me tell
that
you.
must be nice.
Oh my God, not having to
a whole chef planning a whole dinner menu for you.
Oh my God, that's what it's like being a kid. You having parents who fucking cook you. You basically a fucking in-house chefs. You have to plan a fucking meal.
I love
your fridge is stocked. Your snacks in your cabinet. What?
You didn't have to make the grocery trip?
What?
You just come home and everything's stocked?
You just had to bring the groceries in, and you try to do it in one trip, and your hand would turn purple because you have the bags all the way up your arm, and you're like, freaking do it just one trip it. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah. See, man. Like, I like how our kids want to help us with dinner and shit like that. Like, they want to learn, and I really enjoy that.
Explaining it to them in a way where I'm like, yo, guys, what they call chores are not fucking chores. Those are life skills. Me teaching you how to do dishes and how to run a vacuum and how to do laundry, that's not because I want to enslave you. Trust me, that's not the case. Granted, I appreciate the help, but realistically, it's so that when it's time for you to have your own place, you know how to take care of it. These are just life skills. So, yeah, man. And I think an important thing is like, guys, we have this podcast because we want to show you guys that you're not alone. We're human. Yeah. This is the shit that we all deal with. This is life, bro. This is what it is. And you guys have to learn to give yourself some grace as you experience this shit. My fiance is I took that one from her book. I took that one from her book. Yeah, if she was like an action figure or like a Woody doll that had a string on her back, you would pull it, it would be like, and then it would be like, make sure you give yourself some grace. Yeah. So that's like, you guys have to make sure you give yourself some grace whenever you're dealing with this shit. Like, you're not alone. You're going to go through it and you're going to experience it. And, you have to kind of roll with the punches, man. Yeah. Storms don't last forever. And also, it was like a quote that I heard that was like, whenever I think it's Buffalo or yeah, I think it's either Buffalo or Bulls. Whenever they see a storm coming, they don't run away from the storm. They run right into that bitch because they know that if I'm running towards the storm, I'll get through it faster. Versus if I'm running away from it, it's gonna hit me eventually. I'm never gonna get through the problem. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you guys gotta kind of don't steer away from those stormy moments. Yeah, those stormy moments, bro. On the other side of that, there's sunshine, man, waiting for y'all.
Yeah, it's also like building strength and stuff in yourself too.
Yeah, for sure. And all right, man. Well, you want to get into question time?
Yeah, I'm down.
And then we'll send them home, man. You want to go first?
Sure.
Hit me with it.
All right. What was the first adulting responsibility that really hit you, and what was the realization like?
The first real adulting situation that hit me.
Yeah, the first like adulting responsibility that like you really took on that really hit you hard. Like shit, like I'm an adult and I gotta figure this out.
I think the big one was when we bought the house.
I was gonna say the same thing.
Like, I'm not saying I wasn't doing adult-like responsibilities before then, you know, paying my cell phone bill or fucking paying rent. Like, I've done that. Mm-hmm.
But that was on such a low scale.
That's like entry-level adulting for me, in a sense. Like, where it's like, yes, it's hard. I mean, it's way worse now, obviously, because of fucking post-COVID and shit. Like, sometimes rents are more expensive than mortgages.
Yeah, we didn't even know what to expect.
I couldn't imagine now, but I'm speaking solely on experience from when I was growing up. Like, to me, the hardest thing or the one thing that made it, like, really hit was when all the bills, like, now, like, my entire life is, you know, is solely dependent. Yeah, my entire lifestyle is an expense, and that's when it really hit me, like, on some, like, yo, bro, like, it's not even free to just exist. You know? Like, if you want to exist with a roof over your head, the ability to drive where you want to go, the ability to eat food and the food that you want and like that shit is all a cost. It all comes at a certain expense. You know what I mean? And it just, I appreciate it so much more because it's not just something that's money based. Like, for me, it's like, I don't look at all this shit as shit that I'm just spending money on. I look at it as like, this is shit that I'm spending time. You know what I mean? All this shit is, I exchanged my time to have all this shit, you know? So I just appreciate it much more. And
it's like one of those like big hard, wins. Man. It's like small, but it's a big win because it's like, I did work hard for this.
Hell yeah. And every time I pay the mortgage, I'm like, yes.
I have this nice little warm house to come home to, and it's not somebody else's. I don't have to live by somebody else's rules. Like, we figured it out to make that happen. Yeah. But I definitely agree with that being, like, the first one because neither one of us owned a house.
Wasn't ready.
And
then all the shit that started happening when we bought the house, the AC, the HVAC went out,
God, I was
the
so
dishwasher
mad.
didn't work, the microwave didn't fucking work, bro. We bought the house and it was like,
I'm like, how this pass
you're
inspection?
Gonna need to put thousands of more dollars into it, and it's a never-ending fucking project.
And then literally months later, COVID happened and the world shut down, and I'm like, we just bought this house.
Yeah,
like,
bro, it was crazy, which I'm glad we did when we did because the pricing obviously is insane. You know what I mean? I'm, hoping the fucking housing market crashes, but yeah, man, that was definitely the big one for me. That was definitely.
Yeah, I would have to agree.
I like that, man. That was good. All right, I got one for you. Okay, so do you ever feel like everyone else has it together and you're just winging it?
I wouldn't say everybody else because I definitely see other people who struggle as well, which it definitely helps in the sense of reminding me that I'm not alone. But I will say there are definitely people that, depending on, like, because social media is so big and everybody wants to post their lives. But I feel like at first I used to compare myself a lot. But now where I'm at and knowing what I know a lot of the time people just put a front on. And a lot of the time they don't even have it all together. Like, they make it appear that they do. So, I mean, I definitely had a point in my life where I definitely did think I was just winging it and everybody else just somehow had it already figured out and just wasn't, sharing their secrets, and it was just always harder for me. But it's, again, when I shifted my mindset and my perspective on how I viewed the world and life itself. Like now I more so just only focus on myself and what I'm doing and just proud of, you know, how far I did come. Because if I'm comparing myself to anybody, it's who I used to be and how far I have come. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. Granted, there are times where I'm like, yes, I wish that I made more money, or I wish that, you know, but I know that at the end of the day, it's up to me. It's my responsibility to get to what I want. It's not going to just get handed to me. It's not going to just fall in my lap. Like, I'm going to have to figure it out. If I have to find a new job, if I have to work harder, whatever it's going to take, I have to manifest that life for myself. And I have to figure out the steps on how to get there. Like, you know what I mean? So I feel like that's what I would have to say. If I compare myself to anybody, it's my old self.
Yeah. No, that's dope, man. That's super dope. I like that.
That was a good question.
Yeah, I like that answer. All right, what you got for me?
All right. Did you have a clear picture of what being an adult would entail when you were younger? And how has reality differed from what you envisioned?
Nope. Right away. Nope. Again, we were just talking about it earlier, the illusion versus the reality. When I was a kid, oh my God, I thought I was going to be fucking driving Ferraris and Lambos and on a yacht and going wherever the fuck I want to go. Yeah, bro.
Just that's living your best life.
Yeah. Oh my God. Zero responsibilities. Fucking on the front of a yacht with a linen shirt and the wind just blowing, dude. And I'm just like, fuck yeah. No responsibilities. I get to do whatever I want. Pop a champagne. Poof. Fucking. Yeah. No, that's not the fucking case, bro. So yeah, I definitely had a skewed vision because, again, I think a lot of kids, it's almost like adulthood's a fantasy. They don't understand. They can't fathom or conceive the responsibilities and the hard work that goes into a lot of these, you know, like you said, Instagram and social media likes to show the final product. So people are like, whoa, come on, DJ Khaled can't work that hard. Because, I mean, look at him, bro. But I'm like, bro, Khaled probably is fucking busting his fucking ass being a parent while also traveling from place to place to place to place to place and fucking losing sleep and, you know what I mean? But
that's a good point, because, like, I will say, like, I never really thought of stuff like that. Like, famous people, you look at them and they're like, oh, they're
think
just
they
showing
got
up.
it made. And I'm like, bro, some of these people struggle. You know, some of their kids are probably raised by nannies.
Yeah.
Because they are fucking, oh, I got a book signing here, and then I got to I can stay here for one day, and then I have to travel over here. I'm going to lose 4 hours of sleep because of the jet lag. And yeah, bro, all that shit is insane, bro. Like,
yeah, because you look at it and you think.
That's the one thing that scared me about the music, too. Like, that was the lifestyle transition, which would be like, yo, imagine going on a
You're just on go.
Imagine going on a fucking 40 or 50 stop tour.
Yeah.
And you're in New York and then Connecticut the next day, and then you're coming back down to Jersey, and then maybe you're in Virginia, and then bro, that's fucking nuts.
Yeah, because you look at it and you think like, oh, all
and
they
some
have
of them
to
are on
do,
tour for months.
All they have to do is
dude.
just show up to the studio, sing a couple of whatever.
You've seen how hard it is to make
go
music.
Home.
You've seen
And
me struggle with that.
It's really not. And then being with you and seeing your journey, and like even that one weekend where you had like 2 shows in one night, and we had to like rush and try to just like navigate time and like hope
or
nothing went wrong.
Back-to-back music fest days where it's like, oh, I'm performing Friday, I have my own set, and then Saturday I'm with Sin Limite, and then Sunday I'm coming back to do another set. Bro, you've seen it. Like,
yeah,
so
it's chaos.
It's again, that's the
nobody just has it figured out.
Illusion versus reality, bro. I did not think adulthood was gonna be this, and again, nobody tells you. A lot of it is
trial and error.
Fucking.
You figure
a lot of
it
it
out.
is, you know, you see what we see in public. A lot of the time is everybody having their quote unquote shit together.
Yeah.
You know, we don't see the shit that goes on behind closed doors.
Yep, I agree.
So yeah, man, no, that was a good question. I like that.
Tonka.
Okay, so what's one little win that you're proud of this week? Even if it's just replying to an email, finishing the laundry, could be something so simple.
Just getting my work week done.
Nice.
Because I want to say there was at least 2 or 3 days out of this past week that I was just like, I just want to call the fuck off. Like, I do not want to get up. I do not want to get dressed. I do not want to go deal with people. Like, the one day, it was just so people-y at work for me, and I was just getting so overstimulated, and I was just like, I don't want to do this today. And I just thugged it out, got the day done, came home, did my duties. And then the second I got to lay in bed, I'm just like, thank you. But it's like the old me, I would have taken any opportunity to just be like, I'm calling the fuck off.
Definitely know that for sure. I've been here long enough to attest to that. I love you, and I'm so proud of the resilient person you are today. Because definitely, Lisa, I was the same way, bro. We used to bum it out, hard body. So, yeah, man. You definitely
Yeah, like
come a long way.
adulting for me is so hard. And I don't know what it is, but like I get shit done and I'm definitely way more locked in now than I ever have. Like I said, if I compare myself to anybody, it's my old self because I'm so proud of who I am today. Regardless of what I'm feeling, I thug it out and I make sure whatever needs to get done is getting done. Despite the fact that I might just want to be a bum and just lay in bed and do nothing. I push through that now. But I feel like, that would be like one of the things is just getting through my work week because it's like I really didn't want to do that this past week. And I just got it done. So
What's up, man? Proud of you, dude.
thanks.
Little wins.
Little wins.
Little wins, man.
All right. Last question, right?
Yeah, that's the last one for you, and then I have one more, and then we'll take them home.
Okay. So who do you lean on for advice or support when you're navigating a new challenge of adulting tasks?
And it's tough to really say. A lot of the time in situations, bro, I be feeling alone. Like, I don't have a lot of people that I feel like I can lean on with the problems that I be having. Because I be feeling like a lot of the people I know don't be going through the shit that I'm going through. So it's like, I'm friends with people, but like, they have their own experience in life.
Yeah.
So it's hard to reach out to them. Not that I can't reach out to you and come to you, but it's like, again, biased perspective. You're also my significant other. So like, if I am experiencing a problem with, let's say, another person, like, obviously you're going to choose my side every time. So it's like, it's hard to really lean on somebody, you know what I mean? A lot of the time, it's just figuring that shit out, adulting. You hear me say that shit all the time, bro. Like, it is what it is. You know what I mean? We're going to figure it out. We're going to get through. So, yeah. I mean, if I hit up anybody, family, sometimes I reach out to Ma Dukes, but.
Yeah. She's probably
Again,
your number
but
one
even
person.
her, she has such an old school perspective.
Yeah.
So you don't know what I'm going through. You know what I mean? Like, you don't know what baby mama drama is. Your whole generation stayed in toxic relationships to keep the family together. So I can't talk to you. My brothers, y'all don't know what I'm talking about. Y'all not in no co-parenting situation. Y'all don't know what it's like to do anything that I'm doing. Yeah. You know what I mean? None of my friends are, you know what I mean? Not really any of my friends are in a similar situation to me. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, I don't really have a lot of people that I turn to when it comes to adulting. A lot of it is just trying not to let down my future self.
I like that part. I do feel like we definitely lean on each other more than anything because we've lived together for so long and we just know the ins and outs of each other. And like, I hate it so much when like you are going through something and it's not something I can necessarily like fix.
Yeah, bro,
or,
and that's
like,
a lot of the other reason why I don't lean on you with certain shit, because in a sense, it's like I know I'll come to you and then make you feel defeated inadvertently. I don't want to do that to you because I know you're like, I just want to fix it. And I'm like, bro, not even a blowjob right now is going to make me feel better. Like, I swear, bro. Like, I'm sorry. So, yeah, dude, like, that's why I don't be coming to you sometimes about certain shit. Like, I can explain it to you, but I can't. There's no remedy for it. You know what I mean? Except time and hoping that whatever you think is going to fix it goes accordingly. Yeah. And if it doesn't, it's trial error. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Again, adulting. The fuck are you going to do except figure it out, Mm-hmm. So, yeah, man. Good question.
Thanks. I didn't mean to make you all emotional.
No, man, it's cool, dude. It happens, bro.
Got you right in the feels.
That's what happens, dude. All right, let me see what else I got for you.
This is your last one, right?
Yeah, I got one more for you.
Okay.
All right. What's a silent weight that you carry that people don't see because you look like you have it together?
I probably financial stuff. Because I was just never taught anything about financial literacy whatsoever. Like, the most that I knew was you worked, you got paid, you paid your bills, and you just did whatever you wanted with the rest of the money that you had. As long as your bills were paid, that's all that mattered. Like, I was never really taught structure or the proper way to save or the proper way to invest or the proper way to manage credit cards. Like, you've been teaching me a lot about, you know, using credit cards to your advantage because of what you get back in return from using them.
Yeah.
And in my head, like, you know, we even bickered about it because I'm like, this shit don't make sense to me. Mm-hmm. And it sucks when you go through your whole life like that and you're now in your 30s and now you're trying to figure it out. I feel like it's so much harder because had I just been taught early on, I feel like I'd be in a way better financial position today instead of it being more of a struggle and a hassle and a headache and a stressor. Instead, I'm like, you know, I wish it was easier, and I feel like it could have been, but it, you know, it is what it is. I can't do nothing about it except for really apply myself now and really try to learn and figure it out and just keep practicing and processing until I will eventually get it, and it will just...
adulting, dude.
Facts, like,
dude, that's what the fuck it is, bro. Adulting is just figuring it the fuck out by any means.
But yeah, like on the outside, I make it look like I got my shit together. Like my shit's paid for. Like I still got my car that I pay for. Like I'm, you know, we're figuring out this wedding stuff. Yeah. We go on these vacations. Like from the outside looking in, it looks like, yo, they just be living their best life. And it's like, yeah, but it's hard. Not easy. Like it be stressful and we be working mad hard. And sometimes it doesn't always pan out the way we wanted to, and then we have to like navigate and like do something different instead of our original plan because that couldn't go as planned or whatever the case is. Like there's always some kind of chaos involved.
Yeah, bro. And like before, like, you know, there's moments where like we used to live paycheck to paycheck, and it's like, but thanks to the advancement of technology, you know, now there's just moments where we live direct deposit to direct deposit. So, you know, it's fucking great. But yeah, man, no, I felt that 100%, dude. It's a learning curve every time, and you know, the sooner you attack it, the easier adulting becomes. You know, I said it to my boy the other day, like hard choices today create an easier life later.
Yeah, it's just all about those choices that you make and how you process them and how you really apply yourself to them. And like you just gotta lock in, you know?
Hell yeah, I like that, man. And yeah, that was my final question, and let's fucking take him home, man. You guys already know how we end every episode. We finish every episode by sending you guys with a question. And you guys, if you guys see it on our social media, you guys can answer, drop it in the comments below, things like that. So our question for you guys is, what's one part of adulting you wish more people talked about, and how are you learning to give yourself grace through it? Had to, you know, do a nod to my wifey over here. But yeah, man, you guys can also DM us the answers if you guys don't want to leave it on our on the socials. But if you guys see this video on socials or watching it on YouTube, or if you're on Spotify or wherever you're streaming it, make sure you guys drop your answers below, because you never know when the why in your story is silent and it becomes our story. Again, man, thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate all of you guys. We appreciate our sponsor. And yeah, keep feeling,
keep sharing,
and keep it real within the feels.